Alright, fuck it. I'm starting early. What's up, guys? For some reason, OBS did that weird thing where it changed my default microphone to a device that doesn't exist. I don't know why or how it decides to do this, but whatever. I'm going to launch Pokemon Emerald, and then before I get into the meat of the matter, there's a couple of things that I want to preface this with right away. Number one is, I was up really late last night. I saw the news out of Palestine. I will talk about that more in detail in a moment. But that's why I seem a little bit more tired today. My voice is a little bit less steady. I didn't get the greatest night's sleep. It's still a solid 6 hours, but, you know, I'm going to have to go to bed early tonight, probably. Something like that. And, of course, this also leads into number two, which is that my patience has worn quite thin. So you guys, you know, might or might not have seen the video segments where I talk about Palestine. I'm kind of at the end of my rope as far as engaging with, like, pro-Israeli people. You know, I had enough energy at the time to explode against that one guy in chat that decided to defend Israel's response to the Hamas terror attacks and whatever. But I think I'm just gonna cool the jets this time. If somebody comes in chat and decides to play that game and do genocide apologia, I think just a quick ban or timeout. Nah, you know what? A quick ban would be only appropriate for that, because there are many things that you can do in my chat. Genocide apologia is not one of those things. Yeah. Whew. But anywho, I left off level grinding here. Actually, since we're starting off here, welcome back to chat. Pink Gold Peach is Pog. I saw the message that they posted earlier. They ask, have you seen what happened? Have you heard about the same folks that were defending Russia are the ones defending Israel? Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Russia and Israel have actually a pretty good relationship, diplomatically speaking, because their leaders are both tyrants and they love committing war crimes. You know, and they love destabilizing the Middle East for their own geopolitical game. Yeah, but to sort of ease into today, I did see what's going on with Jank from the Young Turks, which is you know, I would say it's funny, but it's also, I mean, it's quite tragic, I'll be honest. You know, it's like one of those how the mighty have fallen moments, right? Like he's his network has sort of not been doing as well lately, and then he decides that for whatever reason now it's a good time to launch a presidential bid against Joe Biden on the Democratic ticket, and you know, just absolutely untethered from reality, and giving the same energy as Kanye in 2020. It really is, man. And you know, it's interesting this time. In 2020, I was not very comfortable when I went and voted for Joe Biden. You know, I did it because he was the left most viable option, and all that. You know, the alternative was Trump. So, but this time, funnily enough, Joe Biden has a more compelling case this time around, with the exception of his dealings with Israel-Palestine, which I will mention momentarily. That's certainly relevant. But, you know, his record on unions makes him a definitely a more deserving candidate, I think, of my vote and other people's vote than him in 2020, and certainly than a candidate that doesn't have a record to that effect. You know, there is something to be said about a politician who has a history of acting a certain way versus somebody who is entering the race fresh and who might say that their policies are one thing on paper, but, you know, obviously we don't know how they're going to act if/when they get into office. So I think if there is a primary, honestly, if there's a primary, I might vote for either Biden or Williamson, but I highly doubt there's even going to be a primary, and I'm definitely going to vote for Joe Biden in the general election because he's most certainly going to win the primary. Ultimately, I think Cenk, you know, when he announced his presidential bid and whatnot, I think he knows pretty damn well that he's got no shot at winning. He's got no shot at even like making a splash in the primary. I think he pretty transparently did this on the show where he announced this. I think this is just a plug for his merch, and this is his attempt to sort of cash out. TYT has been sort of struggling financially lately. The hosts have been drifting rightward in the sort of Jimmy Dore kind of direction. Called for Arnold Schwarzenegger's support in his court case. Yeah, he's just completely off the rails, man. And like, let's be real, Arnold's got better things to do, you know? Yeah, so, and I think that, you know, Cenk realizes that this is the direction the network is going, I guess, is that there's this sort of, they're having to dip their foot in the water. His campaign site only has one tab. Yeah, I saw that too. We can take a look for, we can take a look at that, for a second here. Guys, for context, okay, it starts off, it's so good. All right. So Cenk's campaign website, I opened it and then just had to go back real quick. Cenk Uygur's presidential campaign site is cenkforamerica.com, right? I guess it's pretty standard web URL. But then already you can see there is no page preview blurb. You know, all these news sites and whatever, you see The Guardian has their little logo here, The Hill has their logo, Spectrum News, whatever. Including, I believe, the Biden campaign. Let's see, if I go to Biden 2024 campaign website. Yeah, look at that. They've got their own little logo. This is the default website logo. And then I'm going to click on it. And, okay, awesome. There's a pic of Cenk. And then that's the whole website. You watched me. You didn't miss anything. I just scrolled through the whole ass website. There's one tab. It's the home tab. There's a link to his Twitter profile. There's a donation link that links to an Act Blue page. Okay. I don't know how he got onto Act Blue. I don't know why they still work with him, but yeah, this just redirects to the home page. And what is this? This formatting is leaves a lot to be desired. Like this, no, this is so bad. Such a not good campaign website. He lists four policies that aren't even really policies. This one's really weird too. I'll get to that in a second. Paid family leave, they don't specify. $15 minimum wage. This is the only policy that is an actual like policy. The minimum wage is a pretty simple thing as far as policy setting goes. It's the law is like, this is the minimum wage. You're not allowed to pay people less than this. Other than that, it's up to your discretion as a business. And nowadays, I've seen more people get into the $20-something range in the minimum wage discussion because, you know, the inflation has far outstripped the point where $15 would make any significant impact anymore. At least as far as a livable wage is concerned. This is better than the minimum wage in a lot of states, but at the same time, it's not nearly enough. And then the end gerrymandering, this one is so complicated that you would need to outline some crazy shit. Like this doesn't really mean anything. The gerrymandering stuff, because gerrymandering, it's not entirely clear what it would be replaced with, apart from maybe like a constituency model of proportional representation. Even then, you'd have to outline that. But none of these are links. It's just text. It's just HTML text. And then, of course, public option, which I don't know, you guys probably know. Cenk is well, he was one of the first people to support Medicare for All back in the day, but apparently now he's backed off of that. He's only advertising that he supports a public option, not Medicare for All, not, a single payer system. And then I know what these percents mean, but the fact that he doesn't say anything about the percentages here and what it means is very funny. It's like, what is this? Is this the percent of support that you will offer for it? Is this how much you like each given thing? It's actually the polling data, but, would it kill you to put, like, an extra bullet point that says this policy has such and such percent support and the American people deserve better or whatever? Yeah. What a campaign slogan. No sign-up text either. It's just the fields that you fill out. I remember when Candace asked Trump to be his running mate. Wait, for Kanye? For Kanye, you mean, right? Asked Trump to be... Oh, like Trump, Kanye, and then that's the ticket? Yeah, that was funny. I think I do remember that in the 2020 election. This is the most web design is my passion website I've ever seen. Oh, Trump Owens 2024. Okay, I understand. Oh, okay. I misread your message there. That's really funny. God. I think even somebody like Trump has to recognize that Candace Owens is a veritable optics nightmare. Yeah. But yeah, so this is I think Cenk is actually looking to cash out at this point. Some very questionable figures have come out of TYT. Dave Rubin was at TYT in the 2000s. Jimmy Dore was at TYT. Glenn Greenwald was a contributor at TYT. I don't know if he was a main fixture, but he certainly was on the show every now and again. And obviously, we've all seen what's happened with Anna recently. It just seems like they don't produce the most honest actors out there. And a lot of the driving force behind that is the money. And I think somebody at TYT is taking right-wing money or sort of looking for it, kind of fishing for that money to see if they can't grift to the right. Meanwhile, Cenk, I think, sees the writing on the wall that whatever happens, TYT is kind of going under, and I think this presidential bid is just an effort to try to, like, get some donation money and then go like, chill, retire to fucking somewhere. I don't know. It's just I think it's just I'm concerned about what kind of damage they could do before in the process of all this. I hope they don't do much, but you never know. Look, I have a history of being unduly hopeful. That's that much is pretty clear if you watch my streams and stuff. So being realistic, it's going to be ugly, and then TYT's eventually just not going to be super relevant anymore. In fact, I think the era of new media, as far as like news is concerned, is kind of done. Like, there's a few people out there that are still very credible actors. You've got David Pakman, although he has a pretty big blind spot on Israel. You got Kyle Kalinske, you got The Humanist Report, and then, like, I don't know, nobody else of that size, really. It's just a few select people that cover news events and do so in a reliable fashion. And even then, most of the time what they do is just read from other news outlets. Oh, and Farron Cousins as well. How could I forget my boy, Farron Cousins, from Ring of Fire Radio. Yeah, I think the main fixtures of news are still just going to continue to be the I don't know if you would call them rightly like legacy media, but like conventional media outlets, like your Associated Press, your Al Jazeera, your New York Times, and all those newspapers. I think it's just people need to learn critical thinking. I think there's no substitute for critical thinking, and a lot of times, there's a rare instance like the Israel-Palestine conflict where news outlets are so bad that they might as well just be disinformation rags. But most of the time, there is enough factual reporting for you to sort of read around the biases and sort of determine, okay, this is what the angle is from this news outlet. And you can pretty reliably determine like what the appropriate view to take on a given issue is based on the reading of, like, I don't know, maybe you read a story in the Associated Press or Reuters or whatever news article of choice you end up reading, and then that's like good enough. I think independent media had its time, but it was ultimately, I mean, like I said, it's not a substitute for critical thinking, because independent media, the new media stuff on the internet, has its own problems. For example, the sort of the risk of grifting. They are a lot less financially influential than the big giant news media stuff that you would see on cable or you would read in the actual physical paper. A little bit more unscrupulous. Whereas, even though a lot of times you probably shouldn't trust what conventional news has to say, you can rely on them to be relatively consistent in what biases they hold. For example, if there's a strike from unionized workers, you can reliably expect news outlets to cover the event in a way that is unfavorable to the workers and favorable to the executives, while still reporting most of the facts correctly. They'll sort of load certain phrases, but if you can get around that, like, you would still come away with a well-informed picture. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that many details omitted. There's some important ones for sure, but usually they will mention, like, this is why the workers are going on strike, and this is, like, these are their demands, and this is what the status of negotiation is between them and corporate. And then after they say that, or like somewhere within them saying that, they'll add the framing of, oh, but this is a major disruption to the economy, of course. And the implication there is that, like, oh, striking workers are bad. But like I said, it's consistent, and you can learn to recognize that and sort of begin reading around it. As much as you would probably roll your eyes at it every time if you're of a similar political conviction to me. Anyways. What is Blood waffling about? I'm done talking about this. Yeah. Jank is cringe. He used to be based, but now he is cringe. He used to be based and funny. Now he is cringe and still funny. That's how I feel about this. And I think everybody should just go read Associated Press instead. I think I remember this guy having, like, level 26 as the strongest, but in lieu of that information being readily available, which at the moment is not, I'm going to go in with the team I currently have, all level 24. Hopefully this ends up working out. I'm pretty sure he starts with the Magnemite, so I'll have Combuskin out first. And then after I either get intel from this preliminary battle or beat Watson if his Pokemon are a little bit lower leveled, then I will start talking about the man-made horrors beyond all of our comprehension that literally kept me up last night. Wait, is that... He's using Flash. Man, that's cringe. I don't know why this guy changed the music. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but it's cool, I guess. Sent out Raichu. Okay, level 25. So, okay, was that thunder? I might be getting fucked up here. Okay, okay. Quick attack? Lol. Flying type. Yay, free damage. And that worked out somehow. Is it raining? No, it is not raining. Here we go, so... Oh, no. And this is gonna be the big guy. Level... Oh, 24. Okay, never mind. So it was just Raichu was level 25, and then that's it. Ah, come on. Alright, whatever the case. I've got my intel. I think I should level grind for another level. And now... Man-made horrors beyond my comprehension. You know, originally I had some, like, hopium posts for this. There was a post that I saw that left me feeling kind of hopeful about how this conflict could at some point come to an end in such a way that didn't involve the completion of this genocide because of what a security failure this ended up being for Netanyahu when he received warning from Egypt and then elected to do nothing. You know, and you know the potential consequences of a protracted war, or like the mass killings on public opinion and on international support that Israel could receive. Like, there are a lot of ways that this could, and like that this could have potentially ended in Israel getting hung out to dry. But I guess those hopes were all for naught, and we're just right back to the regularly scheduled programming here. How should I start this? What am I gonna start with? I could refresh my home feed. Yeah. Let's see. God, there's so many. Okay, let's start with the evacuation order, right? As per Al Jazeera's reporting, I saw this somewhere else initially, but I've been following the live updates on Al Jazeera's live blog page. You probably have heard that the Israeli government, the IDF more specifically, ordered that all the Palestinians living in North Gaza, that is to say, in Gaza north of the Gaza River Valley, all move down south, vacate the entire city, the entirety of Gaza City, the biggest city in Gaza and potentially even the biggest city in Palestine, containing half the population of the Gaza Strip. All 1.1 million of those people, the IDF says, yeah, you have to move down south across the river valley, and you have 24 hours to do this. The last I heard of this, actually, it was down to 19 hours, and that was 12 hours ago. That's right. I was up at like 1, almost 2 in the morning following this news and watching the hours tick down from this countdown of this evacuation clock. And at the end of that 24 hours, Israel is going to do the ground invasion. They are going to occupy North Gaza, and they are probably going to kill anyone that remains there, civilian or otherwise. This order, there are so many things wrong with what's going on here, just in the order itself. I guess I can start with that. They issued the order electronically, and the first red flag there is that Israel had cut power to Gaza. They have no way to receive this message. Granted, I think many people in Palestine have since received it, and are now trying to leave, but it was not helped by the fact that Israel has cut off their supply lines. That's problem number one. So that's going to lead to things taking longer. Problem number 2 is that this is a fucking million people. This would be if this would be the single largest mass exodus in history to take place within a single day. 1.1 million civilians ordered to move several miles south, outside of their home city or home villages surrounding the city, into an area where the situation is no better. There is nothing to accommodate them. They have no food. They have no water. Israel cut off, in addition to fuel and electricity, they cut off the supply lines for food and water to the Gaza Strip. People will have to make a several miles long, treacherous trek on foot, because many people don't have cars, with no food and water over the course of these last 7 hours, if they have not already. That's issue number 2, which I kind of looped into issue number 3, which is that they have no resources with which to make the trek. Issue number 4 comes in the form of the boundary they are meant to cross here, the Gaza River Valley. This is I think the biggest river in the region, something like that. We can take a look at it on Google Maps or Google Earth or whatever, but there are not many places to cross this river. Look, maps. Let's see, Gaza River map. Gaza River Valley. Here we are. Where's satellite mode? Here we go. Let's have a look. Gaza, right? So this is where it says Gaza. This is Gaza proper. This is the Gaza city. This is really densely occupied. Now, if I look, actually, I might need to do this to identify it. Where's the river? Here it is. This is it, I think. No. Wait, hold on. It's south of the city here. It's this. Okay, I found it. You can see here there's a little gap. A squiggly shaped gap. I go to layers. Yep, there it is. This is the river beyond which Palestinians have been told to evacuate. You can kind of see it going across here. If I zoom in, it'll be a little bit easier to see. Yeah, it goes down here. How many crossings, I wonder, are there over this river? 1. Here's 1. Here's 2, right? Yeah. Here's 3. Okay. Here's 4 and 5. Here's 6. 7, 8. Let's follow this river. 9. 10. So this is 9 and 10 here. 11. 12. 13. 14, 15. I'm not going to count that. 16. 17. 18, maybe. There are less than 20 crossings, and that's being generous. I've counted just about every single spot where there's so much as a footbridge to cross this river as a river crossing. If we were to do major roads, I would have no doubt there'd be like half a dozen. If we're going, actually, if we do major roads here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like, you could argue maybe this is 6, but I wouldn't count that. 6. There are 6 river crossings in the entire, like 6 major ones across this river that 1.1 million people are being told to evacuate across. And the rest of the crossings are like dirt footbridges, and some of them are even rope bridges. I might not be able to see them on this map here, but yeah. That's another problem. Problem number 4, I believe. I believe I was on the 4th one. Is that they didn't actually. I don't think they waited for people to start evacuating. They're already bombing people. Which, I mean, they've been doing that for quite a while, but you know. This is going to account for a very large number of casualties, unfortunately, methinks. In fact, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen, and probably what's in the process of happening right now. Because Hamas has also said, like, ignore the evacuation order and stay here, which, honestly, I feel like that would give you about an equal shot at surviving if you were to just stay behind and hide or hope that the IDF doesn't kill you when they find you, which snowballs chance in hell, but, you know. People are going to escape in droves. They're going to attempt to flee to the south, right? They're going to encounter these bottlenecks, and they're going to, you know, desperate, out of food and water, they're going to start pushing, shoving, trampling. People are going to die en masse just on the way out of North Gaza. And it's going to be a bloodbath before the Israelis even get there. That's first off. Second off, I think the Israelis aren't going to wait for people to cross to start bombing. In fact, it would not surprise me if Israel cooked up the excuse of, we have some intel of, like, Hamas operatives on one of these footbridges, and they're going to blow up one of the crossings with people on it, for shits and giggles, basically. That's going to result in mass casualties as well. And then, of course, once all is said and done, everybody probably will not have the chance to get across before Israel starts the bombing proper, and the invasion proper, rather. And like I said earlier, Israel is simply going to kill anybody who they've left behind, or who has not been able to make it across. As soy as it sounds, this is basically the scenario of what happened in the Hunger Games, Mockingjay, I think, where Katniss was in the arena and had just, like, blown up the force field or whatever. And then all the power went out. And back in District 12, they told everybody to go home and then firebombed the whole district, and, like, only so many people made it out. That's basically what's happening here. No electricity, no communications, extremely limited resources, and bombs raining from the sky. And, of course, lest you believe that this is just the Gaza Strip, you might be wondering what's happening in the West Bank right now. Bad shit, really bad shit is happening in the West Bank. We have from Middle East Eye, I guess this is a Middle East-centered news outlet. I assume they're somewhat reputable. It seems that they are. They have quite a good-looking news page, and it looks like they are indeed... They are indeed providing what looks like some pretty good coverage. Oh boy. Where was that one? Yeah, here we go. Okay. So Middle East Eye reports, Israeli settlers opened fire at worshippers leaving Friday prayer at the occupied West Bank city of Hebron? I don't know exactly how to pronounce that. There is video of this. I know that the reporting is correct because I watched the video earlier. I'm not going to show it on stream because a man gets shot in that video. point blank. It's really bad. And from what I understand, with the Israeli government is actually now handing out firearms to the settlers in the area, in the West Bank, and they've basically declared an open season on all of the Palestinians living there. I believe it is not a stretch to say that we're now in the mass killing phase of this event. It's really bad. It is. It's so bad, I don't think I could exaggerate. I don't think I would be able to over-exaggerate just how bad it is from like the Palestinian perspective, right? We're looking at nothing more or less than the complete erasure of Palestine off of the map at the hands of Israel right now. And certainly it's the wheels are being greased much faster in Gaza than in the West Bank. The death toll in Gaza has been quite a bit higher recently, but I have no doubt that when all is said and done in Gaza, Israel is going to do the same thing to the West Bank, which could mean divide and conquer, like they did to the Gaza Strip initially, or they could skip quite a few steps because, well, as one of the tweets I highlighted here has, from HuffPost, not always the most reputable, but it contains a direct quote, so I'm inclined to believe it. Israel has the blessing of the Western world to go through with this genocide. Here we have this individual reporting from HuffPost. In fact, let me just go to HuffPost itself and look for this quote. Here we go. In messages circulated on Friday, State Department staff, this is the United States Department of State, wrote that high-level officials do not want press materials to include 3 specific phrases: de-escalation/ceasefire, end to violence/bloodshed, and restoring calm. So the United States has now used the apparatus of state to declare that there shall be no peace in Palestine. In fact, we will even put out official statements and policies to deter you from running news headlines that would in any way prefer that things be restored to some state of calm or that violence be de-escalated in the region. Yes, now we're finding out why the United States and Israel are the only 2 UN countries that do not participate in the International Criminal Court. Because they want to do crimes and get away with it. Actually, I don't know if it's true that we're the only 2 countries that don't participate. Okay, here we go. States parties to the Rome Statute. 123 countries are states parties to the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. Out of them, 33 are African states, 19 are Asia-Pacific states, 18 are from Eastern Europe, 28 are from Latin American and Caribbean states, and 25 are from Western European and other states. Now, I think there was a map that showed who all was not part of this institution. Very nice. We've got an official logo. Oh, awesome. Here's the Wikipedia page. International Criminal Court. We have here this legend. Green means that this is a state party to the ICC. Yellow means they are a signatory but have not ratified. They signed on but didn't fully ratify. Purple is a state that withdrew its membership from the court. Orange is signatory that has withdrawn its signature. And orange is not a state party or signatory. So both Orange and red in this case are countries that have not signed or endorsed the ICC in any way, but orange means that they did sign it and then changed their mind. As you can see, we have the United States in orange. We have the Vatican City in red, which is pretty funny. Israel is orange. Lebanon is red. Saudi Arabia. You can basically predict which countries are going to be not on the ICC and which countries are. However, that said, even the countries in green here do not give a shit about international justice. This is purely a game of geopolitics, and it is favorable to the interests of the West right now to maintain Israel as basically a military base for the United States in the Middle East. So, to hell with international criminal proceedings and due process for the Palestinians. I'm very tired. Where is the other thing I wanted to show? There was a couple more things. Yes. Human Rights Watch. That's right. Israel is now using white phosphorus in Gaza and Lebanon. From Human Rights Watch and from Business Insider. I know Human Rights Watch, sometimes they can get stuff wrong, not on purpose, but out of like genuine concern, and they sort of rush to things. But videos show, according to Business Insider, videos show Israel's military use incendiary bombs in Gaza that can cause horrific burns. And here again we have an American news outlet bending itself over backward to not say Israel committed a war crime by dropping white phosphorus on civilians. Oh, actually, they're reporting what Human Rights Watch said. Let's go to Human Rights Watch then. Israel's use of white phosphorus in military operations in Gaza and Lebanon puts civilians at risk of long-term injuries, Human Rights Watch said today in releasing a Q&A document on white phosphorus. Here we have an image of it being used. Yeah. This is a white phosphorus munition raining down. Airbursts of artillery fired white phosphorus fall over the Gaza City port. October 11th, 2023. This is 2 days ago. You can see it's official. There's a copyright and everything. Human Rights Watch reviewed some video. Let's see, actually. Human Rights Watch interviewed by phone 2 people from the Almina area in Gaza City who described observing strikes consistent with the use of white phosphorus. One was in the street at the time, while the other was in a nearby office building. Both described ongoing airstrikes before seeing explosions in the sky, followed by what they described as white lines going earthward. So that's this pattern here. They estimated that the attack took place sometime between 11:30 a.m. and 1 o'clock p.m. Both said that the smell was stifling. The person who was in his office said that the smell was so strong that he went towards the window to see what was happening, and then filmed the strike. Okay, so they did have some video. Human Rights Watch reviewed the video and verified that it was taken in Gaza City's port, and identified that the munitions used in the strike were airburst 155mm white phosphorus artillery projectiles. That's pretty specific. But, I'm sure there are quite a few methods that you can use to identify stuff, so I'm sure. Other videos posted to social media and verified by Human Rights Watch showed the same location. Dense white smoke and a garlic smell are characteristics of white phosphorus. I'm sure everybody probably knows because, Spec Ops the Line meme. White phosphorus melts your flesh off. That's what it does. It is a chemical weapon. It is banned for use in warfare. Although, funnily enough, it is not banned for use on civilians at home. Chemical weapons are actually allowed to be used on civilian protesters, which is pretty funny, and in the most morbid way possible. So, if Israel had had not declared a state of war before using the white phosphorus, this would technically be above board according to international law. But because this is wartime, and they are using this as a weapon of war, it is illegal. Which shows you how fucking stupid international law can be sometimes. Nonetheless, this is not just a crime against law, this is a crime against our moral sentiments. This is a crime against what we understand to be right and good. Civilians should not be subject to this under any conditions, under any circumstances whatsoever. And here Israel is basically scientifically crafting the most evil possible thing to rain down on Palestine from above. Ay, ay, ay. It's just so much, dude. It's just so much wrong. Oh, here we go. Now, this person is just a random Twitter account, but they did provide video. This video is actually not TOS, so I can show it on stream, I think, to corroborate what all is being shown. This will be the last detail I have to offer from, like, the various Twitter threads on the subject. 15 minutes ago, a minibus carrying a family and their belongings that fled from Gaza heading south on Salahuddin Road was bombed. This is one of the oldest roads in the world, by the way, and it's the biggest crossing across the river. All killed on spot. I actually forgot about this when I was talking about Israel bombing people as they're trying to escape, bombing the passages that they marked to be used for people fleeing Gaza. So I mean, I guess I was right, unfortunately. Here we go. They're quote tweeting themselves here. Leaflet that the Israeli military dropped a short while ago over Gaza City. There's a reference to humanitarian aid area far south adjacent to the Egyptian border. It seems that those in Tel Aviv see what is happening as a historic opportunity to Nakba plans. Nakba is the Arabic word for catastrophe. They are doing the Nakba too. In fact, here they show documentation. I remember nothing too gruesome is shown in the video, but you can see over there, that's the wreckage of the bus, and it's on fire. Luckily, a thing on fire is not TOS. There's some people looking on very concernedly. Yeah. What the fuck, dude? Why, okay. The big takeaway from this is that politicians and really grown-ups, the people that run the world, are retards. They are evil retards who want to kill any and everything that moves. At least in the case of Israel, that is true. And it is also the case, probably more broadly, that do not assign any degree of, like, altruism and intelligence to people who seek out the roles of politician and gubernatorial positions within government. You know, because I assure you that charitability is not warranted. Fuck, dude. Okay, now this is some cartoon villain shit, and I'll explain why briefly. Here, look. Israel denies hostages killed in its airstrikes after Hamas raid. Hamas says Israel's airstrikes killed 13 of the hostages taken from southern Israel in its raids last week. It said the dead included foreigners, but did not give their nationalities. I believe this. I don't think Hamas has any reason to lie at this stage of things. I think they realize how outmatched they are. And how bad of an idea this was. Why do I find this comical? Well, because if you'll recall one of my other segments on the issue, Israel did actually go on the record in saying, "Yo, what up, resist colonizers? Welcome to chat." Um, Israel did say a couple days ago, or a few days ago, that they would go through the hostages to occupy Gaza. They said, like, well, I mean, we don't want to kill the hostages, but we will, because Hamas or something. And here they are killing the hostages, and Hamas is like, oh fuck, oh god, they're killing hostages. You know, still an Islamist group, but I would assume that Hamas's plan was like, take a bunch of hostages and negotiate for the release of some prisoners and stuff. It seems to be in line with their MO. But no, Israel decided, haha, just kidding, we'll kill the colonizers. And then when they did, they denied it, which is like, dude, you said you would do this. That's what Hamas said was the main aim of the operation. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know if I have too much more to say on this. I've already gone through all of the horrible shit, like, from white phosphorus to the evacuation order to they've already started bombing people trying to obey the evacuation order to, like, everything. I guess the one thing I haven't talked about is the Hitler particles on the side of the, like, of people in America, which, I mean, I did talk a little bit about America's response, which is that the State Department actually put out an official, like, statement, a communique saying, hey, don't talk about, here, look, from HuffPost, I think. Not always the most reliable outlet, but, you know. The folks who are defending giving a standing ovation to a Nazi 3 weeks ago are not now calling us anti-Semites for supporting Palestine. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah. See, because here's the thing. People don't actually care about the rights of Jews as a marginalized group. They don't actually care about anti-Semitism. Not, you know, the people who were giving that standing ovation, people in the Canadian government, the American government, they couldn't give a shit about the Jewish people, right? But for people in America, this is why the United States has such a relationship with Israel, and why a lot of Republicans even are hesitant to engage in anti-Semitism outright. World War II and the Nazis are in recent enough political memory that being called anti-Semitic is bad from a PR perspective. So everybody has to do this performative thing where they pretend they care about the Jewish community. You know, notably Joe Biden did this when he got up on the podium. He might actually think that he cares. You know, and I'm sure if it came to, like, the United States and Jews in the US, then maybe. But you know, the support for Israel is not support for Jews. In fact, Israel is pretty racist against Jews that are not Ashkenazim. There's a lot of racism against Arab Jews and against Ethiopian Jews in Israel. Did you see the video of the IDF abusing Orthodox Jews in the religious center learning in Jerusalem? Israel doesn't give a fuck about anyone. Yeah, they're just evil. This is unironically, Israel and genocides of this caliber are like an argument against the theory of, like, realpolitik and like geopolitical realism or whatever. The arguments that, like, nations will act in the material interests of their own country and whatever all falls apart when you realize that, like, you have to twist yourself into a pretzel to do what Israel is doing. It is not easy to do this kind of thing as a country, you know? It requires a lot of effort to maintain such a genocidal mission, as has been shown by the fact that in order to legitimize their efforts, Israel literally funded Hamas to be the face of Palestine so they could just point to all Palestinians and say, hey, look, Hamas, kill them. So it doesn't exactly surprise me that Israel is also mistreating Jews within its own borders. In fact, I don't know if you were here when I said this before, on another stream, but Israel is a profoundly anti-Semitic country just from the get-go, because it is founded on the incredibly bigoted assumption that Jews could not have rights unless you put them in their own ethno-state. Right after World War II, everybody could recognize, like, wow, the Holocaust was fucking terrible. But because all of these countries in Europe were also super anti-Semitic, none of them wanted to accept Jews in their own country. So they said, I know, we'll create a country to send all of the Jews to. We'll put them all in a box. The problem is, the box that they drew already had people there. It was the Palestinians. And so they decided, whatever. And, you know, the British basically drove out the Palestinians at gunpoint with the help of the newly created State of Israel. It is so fucked up. Let's not forget about the Havara Agreement. Oh, indeed. Let's see. Havara Agreement. I don't know exactly what this is, but I have a feeling I would... Oh, Jewish colonizers work with Nazis. Epic. Agreement between Nazi Germany and Zionist German Jews signed in 1933. The agreement was finalized after 3 months of talks by the Zionist Federation of Germany, the Anglo-Palestine Bank, and the economic authorities of Nazi Germany. It was a major factor in making possible the migration of approximately 60,000 German Jews to Palestine in 1933 to 1939. Yeah, that tracks. What was I gonna mention? I was thinking of something else initially. Oh yeah, I was going to mention, speaking of Jews and Nazis and how there's actually quite a bit of overlap between the two, believe it or not, more so than you might think, given that the Nazis define themselves pretty much by hating Jews. The Lehi split with Irgun to ally with Nazis during World War II. I'll take a look at that in a second. I'm not super well versed on the granular details of Zionist history and whatnot, but I know that Netanyahu is basically a Jewish Nazi, and by that I mean he is obviously a fascist, right? He does many things that are antithetical to the existence of democratic institutions in the state of Israel, to the extent which they still exist at all. But he is also a Holocaust revisionist. He I don't know if he actually believes this or if this is just the narrative he would prefer to propagate because it lets him kill Palestinians faster. But he has said on the record in the past that Hitler only did the Holocaust because Arabs told him to. This is the kind of this is the intelligence of the ham sandwich race. There you go. Let's see here. Let's see. Lehi split. Here we go. Ah, here we go. Lehi. Militant group. I see. Leshi. I don't know how to pronounce that. Fighters for the Freedom of Israel, often known pejoratively as the Stern Gang, okay, was a Zionist paramilitary militant organization founded by Avraham Yair Stern in Mandatory Palestine, so the Mandate of Palestine, before there was a Israeli state. Its avowed aim was to evict the British authorities from Palestine by use of violence, allowing unrestricted immigration of Jews and the formation of a Jewish state. It was initially called the National Military Organization in Israel, upon being founded in August 1940, but was renamed Lehi 1 month later. The group referred to its members as terrorists and admitted to having carried out terrorist attacks. Now, so far it sounds like a mixed bag because, like, I mean, the Zionist project has always been pretty suspect. Building a state where people already live, it's it's always been a settler colonial project, but critical support for hating the British so hard that you commit terrorism against their colonial government. That's pretty good, I think. But the rest of it is not. Lehi split from the Irgun militant group. I'll read on that for a second. In a second. In 1940, in order to continue fighting the British during World War II. It initially sought an alliance with fascist Italy and Nazi Germany. Okay, no big surprise there. Believing that Nazi Germany was a lesser enemy of the Jews than Britain, I couldn't make that shit up. Colonizers fighting imperialists. May they destroy each other. Fucking true. I hope both sides rack up as many casualties as possible in that specific fight. It's kind of like, when people bring up Russia and Azov and whatever, and how, like, that, in Russia, there's a lot of far-right militants and whatever fighting in Ukraine, and then Azov is a far-right militant group fighting in Ukraine. I support the right of Azov to go and die on the battlefield and get Nazis killed in as big of numbers as possible. That's pretty good, I think. Yeah, believing that Nazi Germany was a lesser enemy than Britain to the Jewish people, they twice attempted to form an alliance with the Nazis, proposing a Jewish state based on nationalist and totalitarian principles and linked to the German Reich by an alliance. Nice. Holy shit. After Stern's death in 1942, the new leadership of Ley began to move towards support for Joseph Stalin's Soviet Union and the ideology of National Bolshevism, which was considered an amalgam of both right and left. Regarding themselves as revolutionary socialists, they're Jewish Nazis, is what they are. This is, when they say socialist, they mean like the socialist in National Socialist, where it's just a buzzword, I think. The new Lehi developed a highly original ideology, but combining an almost mythical belief in Greater Israel with support for the Arab liberation struggle. Wait, what? I can believe almost mythical. The Nazis... Here, actually, let me pull this up. The Nazis believed in all sorts of, like, mythical shit and, like, occult stuff. So that's in character, especially, we're talking about, like, National Bolshevism and whatever. But, like, they were for Arab liberation, too? This is bizarre. This is a very bizarre group. The sophisticated ideology failed to gain public support, and Lehi fared poorly in the first Israel elections. Okay. In April 1948, Lehi and the Irgun were jointly responsible for the massacre of Deir Yassin of at least 107 Palestinian Arab villagers, including women and children. Yeah, I mean, it's a Zionist militant group. I would expect nothing less. Okay, nothing more on Irgun. Let's go to the other tab. Irgun, what is this one? Another probably Zionist nationalist organization. The Irgun, national military organization in the land of Israel, or Etzel, was a Zionist paramilitary org that operated in Mandate Palestine and then Israel between 1931 and 48. Okay. It was an offshoot of the older and larger Jewish paramilitary org Haganah. The Irgun has been viewed as a terrorist organization or organization which carried out terrorist acts. That's pretty par for the course for militant groups, but let's see how bad they are. The Irgun policy was based on what was then called revisionist Zionism, founded by Ze'ev Jabotinsky. I can never know with, like, Eastern European sounding names whether it's a ya or a ja. According to Howard Sachar, the policy of the new organization was based squarely on Jabotinsky's teachings. Every Jew had the right to enter Palestine. Only active retaliation would deter the Arabs. Only Jewish armed force would ensure the Jewish state. Wow, okay. This is I guess these are the formative ideological forces that had a hand in creating the Israel that we know today. Two of the operations for which Irgun is best known are the bombing of King David Hotel. Wow. British administrative headquarters? Okay, I'll look the other way from that one. I don't know. Some civilians probably died, and that's bad, but colonialism, like you said. It's much easier to support Israel if you think history began last Saturday. You know, actually, not even then, because Israel has now racked up a larger death toll in Gaza than Hamas did in Israel. Seriously, I think the death toll for Israel stands at about 12 to 1300, which is a lot, of course. You know, civilian deaths. And then Israel, in retaliation to the actions of Hamas, bombed Gaza and bombed like a bunch of apartment buildings to the point where now the confirmed number of deaths in Gaza is more than 1,300, which means that we're probably looking at already more than 3,000 deaths, because a lot of this stuff is very difficult to confirm in an environment like Gaza. I think even if you are looking at history as it began last Saturday, it is still like the correct. It would still be like. You're right that it would be easier, but I still don't think it would be easy just as a term on its own to support Israel if you have good moral character yourself. Yeah. Organization committed acts of terrorism against the British, whom it regarded as illegal occupiers. That part's true. And against Arabs. Cringe. In particular, Irgun was described as a terrorist org by the UN, British, and United States governments. Wow, huh? I wonder where those voices went. In outlets such as the New York Times. Wow, I wonder. I wonder what the New York Times would have to say about anti-Arab militancy in Israel, Palestine nowadays. Surely they are consistent and have the same things to say. Clueless. Yeah. Oh, wow. Even the, let's see, Anglo-American Committee of Inquiry, the Zionist Congress, and the Jewish Agency. Damn, these guys must have been pretty fucking extreme if pro-Israel and, like, Zionist orgs were saying, yeah, these guys are a terrorist group. Academics have written, some academics, such as these two guys, have written that the Irgun went to considerable lengths to avoid harming civilians, such as issuing pre-attack warnings, according to Hoffman. I see. Well, now we know where the IDF gets this thing. Albert Einstein, in a letter to the New York Times in 1948, compared Irgun and its successor Herut Party to Nazi and fascist parties and described it as a terrorist, right-wing chauvinist organization. I'm inclined to, agree with Albert Einstein on this one. He's had some opinions that I don't entirely agree with on Israel-Palestine, but his views are understandable given the time that he was living in. And he was much more conciliatory and humanitarian in his attitude towards the Arabs, viewing the project of Israel as a joint effort between Jews and Arabs as a sort of state of coexistence. He envisioned Israel to be the one state solution that we idealize and think is such a far off dream today, because ultimately I think it always was, but Irgun's tactics appealed to many Jews who believed that any action taken in the cause of the creation of a Jewish state was justified, including terrorism. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, this is why they look similar to the IDF. Irgun members were absorbed into the Israeli Defense Forces at the start of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. The Irgun was a political predecessor to Israel's right-wing Herut, or Freedom Party, which led to today's Likud party. Oh, wow. Okay, so Benjamin Netanyahu's party is just these guys. Likud has later been part of most of Israel's government since 1977. All right. I'm glad I read about Irgun. So, Wow. So this is like the most Hitler of all the Hitler organizations, except for Hitler himself. Uh, against Arabs, that is. I'm sure that like anti-Semitism is a whole different ballgame than this, but like, holy shit. So once a pro-Nazi Jewish terrorist group, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, like Zionist Jewish, but also pro-Nazi. Then they were absorbed into the IDF, and then they became the Herut party, and then they became the Likud party, and the Likud party currently rules Israel today. So these guys, the fucking ideological descendants of these guys, are at the helm of Israel right now. Damn. The whole world is retards. I rescind my statement about like it just being world leaders. There was no way to not see this coming. Nazi, I did a pun. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I don't like this Twilight Zone episode. I'm gonna be real. I think I want out now. I want off the wild ride here. I don't think I like it anymore. Gonna keep it 100. God, I'm out of breath. I'm really tired today. In fact, I might just end stream after this gym battle, because I am running out of fuel, dude. I'm already, like, I'm kind of running on fumes and stuff. I'm sweating. Mom spaghetti, etc. Oh, shit. Here we have something from Vosh. This puts things in perspective. Like I said on another stream, you are under no obligation to feel any certain way about Vosh. That's fine. Puts out a tweet here. After nearly 2 years of conflict, approximately 15,000 Ukrainian civilians have died to Russia's invasion in 2 years. Please keep that number in mind as the Palestinian death toll mounts in the coming days with the full backing and permission of the American government. And then he says, I should say, confirms Ukrainian civilian casualties. We might never know how many for sure, although the same applies to Palestine. Because deaths in Gaza are very underreported. Yeah, wow. This is like... When Arabs use the word Nakba, they are not fucking kidding. Because I think this really can only be described as a catastrophe of the highest order if you are Palestinian or have Palestinian family or are, if you know anybody in the region, really. It's, what do they say? They say enough is too much. You know? I think that applies right about now. Okay. I can't rightly get paralyzed again, so I'll just... Yeah, okay. That. Oh no! He still has another Pokemon. Lame. I am gonna need to use a thing. Yeah. Okay, that was a close call, but it worked out. Dynamo badge. Nice. Shockwave. Cool. I really like the animation for Shockwave in the Gen 3 games. It's very cool. Even though it's not a very strong move, it's only 60 power, but it does have perfect accuracy. That's nice. Who can learn it? I think Kadabra can learn it, right? Yeah, look at that. Forget Reflect, why don't you? Wait, no, I'm dumb. Should have forgot teleport. I only save stated before the battle. I'm dumb. Alright, well, let's speed through this. I'm kind of relying on the assumption that I'm faster than a few of these Pokemon at least. I'm gonna get ready to go to a protest. Take care, comrade. And you too. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck at that protest. Thank you for following the stream. Yeah, and, you know, do what you can, but, you know, that's all any of us can do. Just do what you can. Alright, got that lantern out of there. Okay, who did I... Oh, shit. Alright, here goes nothing, I guess. Wait. If I do this, it would be... I don't think I like the situation I'm in right now. Okay, Swift. Alright. Oh, that works out, actually. I'm sure he's faster, right? Yeah, alright, there we go. Oh, wow, that was fast. Okay, so I guess for trade evolutions, you just need to level them up by 1. Okay, that works out. Now I'm gonna forget teleport instead of the other thing. Forget teleport. I could maybe use reflect for some stuff. That'd be cool. You learn shockwave too. That'd be good, I think. Yeah. There we go. You up front. Slugma? What's Slugma, you may ask? We asked a team of IDF soldiers to give us a tactical readout on what Slugma means. It means you are supposed to genocide Palestinian civilians. I don't think this report from the IDF was accurate. I still do not know what Slugma means. Nope. 0 followers. Very cool. Thank you, Twitch. Alright, awesome. That has a little bug in the UI, I think. There we go. I refreshed it and it fixed. I already have a grass type, so no, I don't want that. You know, I was talking with my dad this morning, actually about this game, and I think my strategy for this game, for finding out who I'm gonna use on my team, is I'm gonna run around a bunch, right? I'm gonna get to the point where you can actually get a Trapinch. I'm gonna go for now with just 6, and then once I catch a Trapinch, that'll be my 7th member. And then from there, I'll look back at all the Pokemon that are available that I could use for the last slot on my team. And then I'll pick from one of the Pokemon that are available and use that, if that makes sense, right? So I would like to know what all I can find on certain routes as I'm going through here. The Pokemon breeders are really nice for like easy EXP. It's always good. Yay! I got his phone number. Also, I could be mistaken, but I think Pokemon breeders, and like there are a couple classes of Pokemon trainer where all you have to do is leave the route and then come back, and then they'll fight you again, which is, I think it's cool. Bellsprout, I'm not super interested in that. 6. Oddish, grass type, I already have one. Same thing with Bellsprout. That's all you can find here? Well, there's Mareep, but I used that in my last playthrough of this game, so I don't think I want to do that this time. Poliwag. I already have a water type. Same thing, Meryl. Oh no. The air is tasty? What did he mean by this? No, I couldn't escape. Waltz? What's up, bug trainer guy? Ooh. I actually really like the sort of curve that bug Pokemon present, because it's like it's a fully evolved Pokemon, but as far as fully evolved Pokemon goes, they're not that great. You can still use them in an in-game playthrough and get away with it for sure. You know, I've done that before. Used like an early game bug Pokemon, but it can be kind of difficult. But they also provide some good EXP if you manage to defeat one, and since they evolve at relatively low levels, you can find people that have fully evolved versions of them pretty early on. It's cool stuff. So I think, anyways. Yay! Now you're level 26. Let's keep going. Oh, I didn't realize there was another trainer here. She has 7 Pokemon. That's a lot. Oops. Alright, get on out of here. And very cool. An item over here. What is that? Great Ball? An item here? Yeah, Repel. Okay. I was hoping it was something a little bit more glamorous, but yeah, you do what you can. Verdant Turf Town. I think that's about... Well, I'll go for a few more minutes. I'm gonna make this an hour-and-a-half stream instead of like a 2-hour stream. I just... Again, I stayed up until like 2 a.m. last night. So I think I'll cut it a little bit short. And then I actually do want to get working on a thumbnail. And then that'll be that for today. I'm gonna try to take it relatively easy. You dropped your glasses. Is it this? No. Is it on one of these rocks? Oh wait, I know. May gave me the item finder, I think. So I could use that. Ah, black glasses. Oh, okay, he left, I guess. Alright. Sure. Rust Turf Tunnel. I don't think I have Rock Smash yet, so I can't really do much here. Yeah. I don't remember where you do get it, though. I know you get it at some point, like... I don't know if it's around here or what. Cut tree. Oh, perfect. What's this? Revive? I like that. think I've more or less, yeah, I've more or less exhausted the availability of certain Pokemon on this route. I think I know what all there is to get there. So now I'm gonna go, I believe you're supposed to go north. Yeah, because I went this way. Let's go north, Route 111. This is a double battle. They really liked showing these off in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and I do not fucking blame them because double battles are so cool as a concept. They can be annoying sometimes, but they remain a super cool idea. Isn't there an item or something? I'm always in like item search mode because right now I have a Lombre on my team and I need a Water Stone to evolve it, and I don't remember where to get one off the top of my head. In fact, I should look that up right now. Game facts, where can I find the Water Stone? Oh wait, I just realized at the I think it's Lily Cove or whatever city, you can buy evolutionary stones. So I'm probably gonna do that. But that's for quite a bit later in the game. I feel like I'd be levels 30 something by that point. Maybe. Unless the mart sells them here. I don't know why it would, but... Yeah, no. I think I'll make my ramblings about the conflict into a segment. God, this isn't going to be part of the segment, but this really, it feels like it's just the worst timeline imaginable. There's no way out. Doomed Eternally. Not to be confused with Doom Eternal, which is a cool game. Alright, cool. Thanks for the rock smash, I guess. Let's teach rock smash to Ivan, actually. It's better than double kick. Yeah, look at that. 65 power, whereas this is 30 and his twice, so it's 60. Yeah. How about that? Of course, I'll have to find other Pokemon to use Rock Smash and Cut later for when I forget those moves, inevitably, for something better. First thing I'm going to do with my newly found Rock Smash powers is go over here and smash the rock that is separating these two fellas. These two folks. And I got strength. Alright, sick. 8100. I will teach that to Abby. Yeah, I guess Headbutt isn't super useful. Yeah. I was considering teaching it to Ivan in favor of, instead of Cut. But I don't know how long I'm going to need the Cut HM exactly. I know there's a certain point at which I will not need it anymore. Oh, goodness. Or I don't know if I've hit that point yet. Okay. Now let's get on out of here. See ya, Krabby. I'm gonna go Rock Smash the rocks up on this route here, and then that'll be the end of the stream. Yeah, get these out of here. Alright, cool. Next time what I'm gonna do probably is go into that house on the left there. That's the battle house or something. Some fun battle gauntlet to do there. I have a feeling I will still be talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict on next stream. Maybe I'll do a raid. I'll see who all is live. If nobody looks like is live. Hiking the Appalachian Trail? What is? Oh. Well, that's fun and all, but since there's only one person here right now. Oh no, wait, there's two people here. Yeah, oops. Let's go and raid Lumiru. It's been a little while since I've done a Lumiru raid. Yeah, /raid Lumiru. Have fun. She's outside hiking on the Appalachian Trail, so it'll be great. I'll see y'all next time, and by that I mean Sunday, I think. Yeah.